Hello everyone, this is another banner review. This is for the new Demon Chandler. Anyway, before we start this video, you may not know this, but you may not be subscribed. Only 2.9% of you that are watching this video are subscribed. That's a lot of people that aren't. And if you did subscribe, it would heavily make my day and would really help the channel. Anyway, let's get on to it. So if we look at Chandler himself, we go on to here, we go on to Chandler. This first card here is a remove buff card, and at level 3 it removes stances. It's okay, not the best, but it's meh. And this is a AoE Pierce card, the exact same card as Straight to Melee. And then we have this card. This is the same ultimate, I believe, as the green counter melee. Apart from it's 6/6, it lasts for 2 turns, which means it's kind of a little bit, you have to give him 6/6 for it to be 2 turns. It also cancels stances and buffs as well. It's not the worst. And his passive is, if all allies participating in battle are a applicable race, increase all allies' penetration, which is pierce rate, by 40%. And when the allies attack, increase damage by 30%, by 10%, up to 30% for every debuff on the enemy, and it only works on demons and commandments, which means, and it also can be used in the back as well, as you can see here. It also works in all content, but his base CC isn't the worst, but his substats are completely horrible. He has a base pierce rate of 50%, which I believe I was looking at saying he has less pierce rate than Rugal, and last time I remember, Rugal was a very old character. Anyway, let's just get into the banner. Useless. Still decent. Useless. Useless. Good to have. She hasn't been in a banner in a very long time, so if you don't have her, it might be a good time to actually get her. Not actually too bad. Her passive actually helps with her relic, so you don't actually have to have a debuff character, but I do highly recommend having a debuff character you're going to run her. Cool character. Not the most practical character, but still a cool character to have. She just practically is based off crit resistance, and her relic pretty much means when anyone on your team gets crit, she gets more attack. Yeah. Old Chandler, very good recently. He's in the demon meta. If you have his relic, he is god tier, absolute god tier. His passive lowers the stats for every card an enemy uses. That could be a buff card, debuff card, a stance card. It will still lower their stats by 7%. That's all their stats, by the way, so it's pretty insane. This Easton's very good because her passive is for every. I think it's for every. I want to say every old gauge or every catastrophe on the field, you take 3% less damage, which is very good. It also works in the back. Her ultimate is a Flood Ult. This card is Oxidize, which is sort of like. It's like a crappy version of Festgother's card, and this is the good to play old gauge card. And probably the best character on the banner. Chandler and Mono are probably the 2 best characters on the banner. This is her second time coming out. This is a weak point single target card. This is a spike AoE card. And this is a secret technique ultimate. Passive is pretty much at the start of a turn. As long as the enemies do not have a debuff, she'll inflict 1 debuff, which will lower the enemy's critical related stats by 30%. And then, yeah, you do a lot of damage. Pretty much, if you use her with Luda, you're guaranteed going to crit, because you lower 75% of stats, because Luda does 45 of defense, she does 30% of critical related stats. I'm not sure if she may actually also lower crit defense. Yeah, crit defense, which I think would actually be pretty cool. That means your crits will be hitting very hard. I don't honestly believe he deserves this 600 banner. Mainly because the fact that he is restricted, very restricted. Only having demons, demons and commandments are very restricted. Where if we go to, obviously this is JP, I don't really have much races. Yes, perfect. If you look at it, this is really all the demons there are. So you really want to run Traitor Melee with him. You want to run Estarossa, and obviously then you also want to run the new Chandler with then the new Zeldris and back. And then if you think about that, you need to get debuffs to proc his passive, so that means you then need to have Green Sorrow link on someone. He is a cushion. The new Chandler is a cushion. You can probably just snipe him with melee or kill him with Estarossa. Estarossa will have to have a Tarmiel link, but the only issue with having Green Sorrow link nowadays is that if you do verse a Brynhilde team, or especially if it's a red Brynhilde team, you won't be able to inflict, or you can inflict the encroachment. It's just you can't use Chandler to inflict the encroachment because it will disappear due to Brynhild's relic, which is kind of broken. But yeah, that's really it. I would heavily recommend skipping this banner. It's a massive shaft banner, and not only that, the character isn't really the best. You know, his Pierce AoE cool and all, but his Pierce isn't that high. A single target card that removes buffs, it's not really needed, to be fair. I just think it's a little bit weird how they've decided to shaft both the demon supports. You know, they need AoEs and they only got one AoE each. But then you make a character that increases pierce rate. I don't think you realise, but Esterosa doesn't require any high pierce rate to do damage. He does damage as it is without the pierce rate. So I don't understand what giving him pierce rate is unless you want to run traitor melee. Maybe they want you to run traitor melee. But I don't see how you're going to then proc. Because you, in theory, to make the most amount of damage out of this guy, you would run Sorial, a red Sorial link. Because when he crits, he hits so hard. That's what you would want. So I don't understand why they put a character who wants to have AoEs, which is Esterosa, so you can proc Darkness, with someone who wants to have single targets, so he does damage, which is fine because you got Esterosa, with someone who only wants demons on the team, who has a single target and an AoE. You know, it's a little bit weird how they've put this team together, when, you know, he's green. I don't think they've realised, but now the meta's red because of ReZero. ReZero has completely changed the meta. The meta is now all red units. All Barn's back, and I don't really think you can't one turn with Pierce against Barn because Barn just has too much HP. And because Reinhardt's now there, if he just rushes ultimate and he gets immortality, you lose. There is no way you're winning unless you encroach him. But still then, you can still survive. But yeah, anyway, that's it. This banner, definitely not worth it. He's a letdown, to be fair. He's a honestly cool design, but I think, obviously I've seen the animation at the end. It's his entering animation and his finishing animation are both identical to the old one, which means I just think this was just a throwaway character. I think that next banner will probably be, what will the next banner probably be? I want to say Ragnarok. I want to say Freya. Well, probably won't be. I wish it's her, because she's probably be the dog unit. Because you're going to need another character for dog to replace Liz, because it's too impossible for free to play still. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.